Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're in Cancun, Mexico, home of some of the coolest, most fun, all-inclusive resorts out there. And today what we have for you are 10 things that shock tourists when they do hit the all-inclusive circuit. Now, the thing is, when we're looking at all-inclusive when we look at all-inclusive resorts, yes, there will be restaurants, there will be bars, there will be entertainment, all kinds of stuff, all included in one price, okay? So we're going to focus on those. Now, the first thing that shocks tourists when they actually kind of look for all-inclusives are the prices. Look, when you're looking at all-inclusive resorts, you see the price, you think, oh, well, that's for one night? I guess that's okay. But what you don't realize, it's usually not charged per night, it's per person. So if you got, you and your wife and some kids, it can really add up. So it can be quite expensive. So make sure you do look around to see, which price category you really want to be in, because, wow, the prices for these things can really go through the roof. And another thing is when you go to these all-inclusives, yes, everything's included, except the things that aren't included, like sunblock, or maybe you want to get souvenirs or whatever. And these all-inclusive resorts, their stores, they'll actually have them there for you if you want to buy water to take with you out on a tour, if you want to get sunblock so you don't turn into a purple red lobster like me. And the thing is, those prices are super inflated, so do be careful with that, because the prices you do have here really get to you. All right, so just make sure you're checking on those prices, okay? And be ready for that. Don't be shocked by it. Just realize that with that $250 a day or something like that, think about it. You get your hotel room, so there's $150 a night, $200 a night right there. Then you've got food, and if you eat a lot like me, well, yes, it's going to be $100 worth of food, baby. And if you're going to drink a lot and party with your buddies, you might drink $50 to $100 worth of alcohol. So actually, you look at it and say, you know what? They've got to make money, and I'm getting actually a pretty good deal because I don't have to go anywhere, so it can work out, okay? Now, the second thing that shocks people is the variety of different all-inclusives that are out there. Look, I'm going to tell you, you have to do your research before you pick an all-inclusive, because there's different all-inclusives for different people. If you're a family, there's all-inclusives that might specialize on family all-inclusives. If you're, a partier, yeah, let's go all night long, spring breaker, there's going to be a different kind of all-inclusive for you there. And if you're going to be traveling in high seasons, it's extra important, because those kind of themes that those all-inclusives really get expanded out there. Like, no, this is the family one during spring break. This is the party one for everyone 21 that wants to rock and roll all night long. And so you will have that. So make sure you do your research. And there's tons of research from TripAdvisor to bookings and all kinds of stuff that will go through the differences in these all-inclusives. And some of them straight up tell you, this is for singles only. This is an all-inclusive for over 50s or whatever. You will have those out there. So make sure you do your research. Otherwise, you might be shocked when you get there and realize, maybe I wasn't supposed to come to the 20-something one. Yes, I want to relive the glory days with my ponytail, but let's be honest, I ain't 20 anymore, okay? Now, the third thing that shocks people when they go to these all-inclusives is how much you can eat. Yes, there's buffets and restaurants all day long. Room service, just call them. They'll bring it to your room if you're too full or drunk or whatever. To get out of your room, they'll bring it to you. So there's just tons and tons of food that's here. But I would say the shot that goes with all that food is the lack of local food when you're there, or local specialties. Here in Cancun, and all-inclusive in general, they're catering to, hey, we want to make sure there's food for everybody, so we're going to have every kind of food here. So you might go here in Cancun to an all-inclusive that has a Thai restaurant, a Japanese restaurant, a sushi place, an international place that have lots of different food, and you're like, where's the Mexican food? It's like, oh, that's at the normal buffet one. And you'll look in there and you'll see it's kind of an Americanized or Europeanized, Mexican food. What you have to do is ask the local workers, hey, dude, what's the actual local food you have here? I remember one time we were staying all-inclusive here in Cancun, and it's like, yeah, we only have the special pork here in Cancun and Yucatan and in this part of Mexico. We only have that one kind of pork. That's the only really traditional thing we have. And so I went to the special place to go order it, and they're like, oh, you actually want this? And they were so happy because all the other foreigners were getting the international food and not the local food. So yes, you get tons of food, but you don't always get the local food when you're there, and a lot of times the food's kind of drummed down. So do explore outside at least one night from your all-inclusive to get to a local joint, so that you can really enjoy some local culture and local yumminess. Now, the fourth thing that shocks tourists when they also go to these all-inclusives is, yes, you can drink pretty much all you want. And the amount of booze you can have can be crazy. And you'll see people maybe having too much or too little or whatever, but just know, yes, you can have all the booze you want. They're like, oh my God, I really can? I thought it was a joke. Oh no, they will serve you. You'll be fine. But that also leads into the fifth thing that shocks you is how watered down some of the drinks are. Look, if you're going to a place where pina coladas are the most popular drink, or frozen margaritas, what they'll do is they'll make a big picture of it. So it's just sitting there. So you have a picture of frozen margaritas or a picture of daiquiris or whatever, just sitting there, and so they take your glass and they fill that up. The thing is, when they make those drinks, they're just watered down. You're like, oh, come on, I want a little bit more. So if you want a little more kick to your alcohol, order a special drink that they have to make, or order bottle beer or canned beer so that it's all like you know what you're going to get. Because yes, I mean they have to make money too, so there's going to be some cutting here and there, and that's why sometimes, like I've had pina coladas and my kids have a virgin pina colada, and I'm like, which one's the alcohol one? Okay, so do watch out for that. So I do say, ask for a special drink. You have probably a better chance of getting it made for you, so you have a little more oomph in the punch, let's say. And that kind of leads into the sixth kind of shock we'll have when you're at these all-inclusives, is when you speak the local language, or you try to speak the local language, the people really open up and they'll be even more friendly to you. And what's cool is if you're talking to your bartender, I've been to a few all-inclusives here in Cancun, and I speak Spanish with them and things like that, and I speak pretty well. And they're like, dude, you actually speak Spanish? I'm like, well, yeah, we're in Mexico. It's like, no, none of the tourists that come here speak Spanish with us. If they do speak Spanish, they don't speak Spanish with us. And it really kind of endears you to them. So those pours get a little bit longer, let's say, and it just really endears yourself with them. So make sure you do talk to the locals in their local language. And the thing is, a lot of these all-inclusives, they'll speak, working English, okay? So if you're ordering food, they'll be able to help you with that. But if you ask about tourism, maybe not. So trying to speak that local language with them really goes a long way to help give them better service and better pours when you're at the bar. Also, the bartenders have some pretty cool advice for you for different places to go, because they get everybody to come talk to them and stuff like that. And I've also found the bartenders speak some of the better English. Aside from like the desk that's specifically there to help you, the bartenders do a really good job in English or whatever other language you might want to speak. That's going to be a good chance to kind of learn a little from some locals. Now, the seventh thing that shocks people when they go to all-inclusives is there's more to do than just the all-inclusive. Like, but why? Why would I leave my all-inclusive? I'm paying all this money. I want to eat and drink and do the fake surfboard thing and play, yoga or whatever, or dance or aerobics in the classes. It's all there for me. Why should I leave? And that's why it shocks people when they go there is, look, if you go to the concierge, go ask them, hey, are there any tours we can do? I can go out and learn some of the culture, meet some of the people. And they have those. So definitely take a chance to do that. If you're here in Cancun, you definitely should be going to Chichen Itza, the Mayan, with the pyramid. It's not a pyramid, but the Mayan pyramid that you want to go see there, or Coba or Tulum, or go explore, or go to one of the islands or something like that. Go fishing. There's all kinds of great stuff that they'll be happy to arrange for you from your all-inclusive. So don't just stay in the all-inclusive the whole time. I mean, it's okay if you do, don't get me wrong, but take that opportunity to explore. I'm like, you're in Mexico. Mexico is more than just the beach and the bars, which really sound really great. But no, really, I got a week. Take a day and go see some of the cool culture these places have, whether you're in Jamaica or anywhere else. I mean, you have these great opportunities. So take them to explore and see other cultures. Now, the seventh shock of all-inclusives is how drunk some people get at the all-inclusives. Yes, we've all seen the people that have had too much of that all-you-can-drink buffet, and I'll be honest with you, if you see that, I would recommend staying away from them, because usually when people get too drunk, there's either vomit coming out, or fights, or or lots of tears. There's just lots of bad situations. So you see people like at the bar with you that are drinking too much, maybe mention to the bartender, hey dude, I think he's had too much, or mention to the concierge or something like that, because you look out for the other tourists, but also don't be the one that's over drunk when you're there. I know you're there to get drunk and have fun and stuff like that, but do know your limits when you are there, because the people that run these places also have to make sure the all-inclusive is nice for everyone else. And so be careful with that. But I'm guessing if you're watching this video, you're probably not the one I'm really shooting for or going for with this, in terms of don't do that. So just realize you will see people that will go over the top with the alcohol. So just, you know, keep a heads up for those things, especially late night when there's the clubs and the bars and stuff inside these places, and there's lots of dancing and drinking, and just like everywhere else, it's not like all-inclusives are like these little separate worlds. The same stuff happens there. Now, the only thing that might shock you when you go to all-inclusives is how all-inclusive the place really is in terms of service. Look, pretty much all the all-inclusives are really there to help you enjoy yourself, help you eat more, drink more, have more fun, all these kind of things. So, but the thing is, they won't help you sometimes unless you ask. And if you ask, they will go out of their way to help you. So if you're not sure, is this part of my meal plan? Is this a tour I should do? Is this included in here? What should I be doing? Ask. Ask, ask, ask. That's one of the big things when I've talked to people that really are big all-inclusive people. And you'll see that there's people that are all-inclusive all the time, and people that are like me, like once in a while I might do one. But the people that go all the time, like, look, you want something, just ask. Just ask. They're here. They want to help you. So make sure you do ask, and you'll be shocked how helpful they will be in anything you want, from tours to cultural things to where the best bar is and all kinds of stuff. So don't be scared. Just ask. Now, the ninth thing that's going to shock you when you come here is, like I said, the expensive thing. It does happen. And the thing is, there's two big expenses you're going to have that you might have when you're here. One is if you don't bring the little things, the sunblocks, like I said, or your hat to wear, or sunglasses, because in those shops, in the all-inclusives, they get really, really expensive. So I forgot my sunblock once. The $5 sunblock at Walgreens or your local pharmacy was $27 there. 27. The hats, yeah, it's, you know, $2 to $5 at the local market. It's like $20, you know, at the store, at the all-inclusive store. So you want to make sure you don't forget those little things. But the biggest cost that might nail you won't think of is if they have a wristband or some kind of card that lets you in and out. If you lose that, you can get charged a pretty big fine. Not every place does this because some of them track the people and stuff like that. But I was at a place, like if you lost your wristband, it was a $75 fee to get a new wristband. Because think about it, you lose that wristband, someone else can take it and they can use it, and then they get the free food and they get the free drinks. So do be careful. Don't lose that, because it will be expensive to replace. And the 10th shock I have for you is you might not realize that all-inclusives might not be for you. I know we all say all-inclusives, man, that would be great. All my food, all my drinks, all my fun is all taken care of in one price. Totally cool. And that's totally fine. And for some travelers, that is perfect. And sometimes for me, that's perfect too. Because think about it. All-inclusives, there's no worries, there's no thinking, there's no worrying about nothing. I'm good to go. And that's great. But for some travelers, it's not. Because think about it. If you want to go and see a lot of different cultural sites, well, the cultural sites aren't in the all-inclusive, so that's going to be lots of different tours, right? Or if you want to go explore more and see other towns and stay other towns, well, you can't stay in other towns, you're staying all-inclusives. Also, if you're not a big eater, I mean, me, yes, okay, Mark, you're a big eater, but my wife, Jocelyn, what, she's going to have like 2 bananas and a piece of toast? Is it really worth it for her to have a $50 budget on food? Well, no, she's not eating that much. And you start to see and realize maybe this isn't right for me. And that's why it goes back into making sure you do the research, not just on the all-inclusives, but if you really fit with all-inclusives in general. I mean, they are great and they are awesome, but realize that sometimes they might not be right for certain travelers. So don't worry if you think, maybe this is too much for me, or maybe it's not really what I want. That's okay, all right? Now, I hope that helps you. If you want to learn more about traveling, you know, we have videos, you know, other tips you should know about all-inclusive resorts, 5 things you love and hate about all-inclusive resorts, what you're going to love and hate about here in Cancun, and shocks of Cancun's and don'ts of Mexico. We have it all on our website at woltersworld.com. Also on our YouTube channel, we've got a whole thing on videos for all-inclusives in Mexico and all kinds of stuff. So please do check us out at youtube.com/Wolters. youtube.com/WoltersWorld. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and we really appreciate your likes, subscriptions, and we hope you have a great time here at any all-inclusive you do go to, because they can be a really great time and a really just blast fun, okay? So, bye from Mexico.